Hey guys, I am extremely burned out on PoE 1 and this is gonna be my last PoE 1 video until PoE 2. And I invested pretty much all the currency that I had, but it's not really min-maxed. And this build is okay. It's rage stacking, it's life stacking, it's a berserker, it's an ignite, and it's infernal blow. So it sounds like a weird combo, but it actually works pretty well because infernal blow on the 6th hit it does like a big stacked damage, stacked like explosion, but it's a bit of a mixed bag. So I'm stacking life because of these new Grey Wind axes, and what we have is each rage also grants 2% fire damage over time multiplier, and it also provides maximum rage, and I'm dual wielding them. So one rage provides 4 fire damage over time multiplier, but because I'm Berserker, I'm picking up the 50% increased rage effect. That means that instead of each providing 2%, it's actually providing 3%. So I'm actually getting 6% of fire damage over time multiplier per 1 rage, and I'm stacking I believe 82 rage, 82 maximum rage. I could get a bit more but by using the different belt, but using the Adrian Dawn is just so much more damage than the Beerus Girdle belt. Yeah, I'm stacking life, stacking rage, Infernal Blow, Berserker. I do not have explosions from Chieftain. I do not feel like I need to, but I did try playing with regular Infernal Blow and with Infernal Blow of Immolation. And they do have slightly bit different pros and cons. The normal Infernal Blow has satisfying explosion sounds. However, if you explode corpses, Ignite cannot proliferate, because Ignite needs like a corpse to proliferate, at least a normal Ignite. I do have Fan the Flames on the Cluster Jewel to proliferate Ignites. So Infernal Blow of Immolation in that case, it doesn't explode because it puts a stack on a player, and at 6 stacks or when the duration expires, then it explodes. It does have more single target damage, Infernal Blow, but when doing bossing it was a bit sketchy because you have to stay close to the boss and wait for the 6th hit, for the 6th big explosion to happen. And sometimes you want to leap away from danger, and very often you can just miss that big hit. For clearing, Infernal Blow of Immolation worked better because it doesn't destroy corpses, it just stalks enemies, but it doesn't have explosions. It did not feel as satisfying. The normal Infernal Blow puts a stack on enemies. It does a bit less damage for single target, but in some cases it felt better for bossing because you can put stacks and just leap away and it's still gonna do decent damage. I am also using Admiral's Arrogance gloves. I feel like these gloves are really nice for this case, or in general if you want to sustain high rage stacks and run Berserk at the same time, because Berserk keeps draining rage at increasing rate. If you gain multiple rages, it will count as the same as gaining like 1 rage for these gloves. It checks whenever you gain rage. Whenever you gain a rage, you have a chance to gain up to maximum rage. Up to 20% is essentially every 5 hits you're gonna be getting maximum rage. And you can gain rage while leap slamming. And by the way, for the most part I was clearing with just leap slam on a falling. It did so much damage that it just felt enough. But the inconsistency in movement speed felt really bad because I'm using Berserk on automation, so it just automatically activates it because I did not want to click a button. And it felt very inconsistent. You lose rage, you lose attack speed, essentially you lose mobility because I'm using Leap Slam to move around. And in general you do need quite a bit of attack speed. I'm also using Control Blaze, which gives a lot of damage, but you have to kind of limit your... You have to get 14 ignites in the last 4 seconds to reach. You have to get 14 ignites in the last 4 seconds to reach the peak damage for Control Blaze. So you have to kind of balance your attack speed. Also kind of means you have to face tank unless you have way more attack speed. But if you apply too many ignites, it will start lowering the damage. If you don't apply enough ignites, it will not reach its peak damage and it won't be as good. So you kind of need to reach 14 ignites in the 4 seconds. Infernal Blow also needs kind of good attack speed to feel good. This actually feels good when you have a high amount of rage, but when you lose rage, it doesn't feel as good. However, grafts can also help a lot. Called the Pyre graft has only 1 second cooldown, so it pretty much triggers every time I leap. Every time I leap, it creates those whirlings. And it can help clear a lot, and it also covers enemies in ash, which is very nice. And the other graft I'm just using for life. But there is a very expensive graft, tool graft, that has expensive modifier. plus 1 additional strike targets. The cheapest I have ever seen was 5 divines. 5, but usually 7 divines. I have tried crafting it myself and get it. I could not get it. This is Berserker, but it doesn't feel squishy until like late maps, until like tier 16s and juiced up maps when enemies are doing a lot of damage. And this is because I'm running Defiance of Destiny, and Berserker has Defied Pain, which sort of works the same way as Defiance of Destiny. So it combines these two. You essentially only are squishy against big hits. Before a small hit does damage, it recovers your life. Usually smaller hits even heal you. So yeah, it's tanky until you start taking very big hits. I try to get as much like life and resistances and a bit of yes rest. Mana was a bit of a problem, so I had to craft minus mana cost rings and also take some mana reduction things like here, a bit of mana regen as well. I do get only 1 extra strike target from this attack master, and I think Tribal Fury, the melee splash, is very important as well. Without it, it just doesn't feel good to use Infernal Blow. Most of my jewels are just rare jewels with life and extra like 2 damage mods, like burning damage, damage over time, or increased fire damage. You could also get damage from like axe nodes and even axe mastery. Can also take some damage here. You don't need fire mastery to convert physical into fire because you have very tiny bit of physical damage and the rest is just flat fire damage based on your life. I did struggle a bit with getting enough chance to ignite. That's why I'm using combustion in the main setup. Control blaze also gives chance to ignite. I did pick up a bit of chance to ignite. It's mostly just this one, and I think it was enough. You can also get chance to ignite on grafts, but this build has a lot of more multiplier and a lot of flat damage, so it needs increased damage. That's why getting like every single one of these would give me like extra 500,000 ignite DPS. It's even more than 500,000 DPS per point, which means it really needs extra increased damage. So yeah, if you want to min-max, just figure out how to add more increased damage. You may also work in Warcries, but if you automate Warcries, then you don't get like the Warcry buff effect. I am using Enduring Cry very occasionally, but it is mainly to give me a bit of heal boost. I don't really notice any degen because of this node having 82 rage. I should be losing quite a bit of life, but pretty much never noticed that. Oh, one last thing. I am using the Fallborn Red Dream, but fire resistance tattoos are expensive. You essentially place fire resistance tattoos and they start giving you 4% increased maximum life, and that's why they are expensive, because life stacking is kind of meta. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this build. I will include path of building import code and maxrollg in the description if you want to copy this build. But for me, that's gonna be it for this league. Like I said, I'm extremely burnt out. I don't want to play PoE. It's not because it's bad, it's just I'm tired of it, and I'm excited for PoE 2, and I probably won't be making any PoE videos until PoE 2 comes out, but I will be playing PoE 2. I will be back to stream, but for now I want to take a break from PoE, from streaming, and work on some Blender stuff. I may do some videos about the Blender, and I may do some animations before the league, although I don't want to promise it. I want to do some animations for the like stream starting screen and like AFK screen and end stream, but I don't know if I will have enough time to do that. Otherwise, I do have some ideas for. I want to start working on some kind of like a mini game, but that's for the next year. But for now, I guess thank you for watching, and I hope to see you still this year when PoE 2 comes out. Bye bye.